Hello everyone, I am Derek Sanders, and today I will be talking about the 2004 missing persons case of Maura Murray. There's a lot of speculation going around about this case and what happened to Maura. Some people think that she was either kidnapped, some people think that she ventured off into the woods and died of natural causes, but I believe something different. I believe this was an elaborate planning from herself to start a new life. And I think that she was doing this new life in Canada, venturing through the wilderness and making her way north where it'd be harder for her to find. As for covering up her tracks, I think that she used the car crash as a diversion to get off the grid. The reason for me suspecting this is her strange behavior and her suspicious purchases leading up to the crash. Finally, I think that her lack of clear destination suggests that she already had a spot in mind that she was going to escape to, rather than an act of violence or abduction. Now we will get into talking about the background of events leading up to Maura's disappearance. So Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. As you know, in the days leading up to her disappearance, she was increasingly showing strange behavior. On February 5th, it said that she broke down crying while at her campus security job. And later, they said that it was a family emergency, which turned out to be false. On February 7th, she searched online for places to stay in rural New Hampshire and Vermont. She also emailed her professors claiming there was a death in the family and that she'd be gone for a week. This is what led to raised suspicions. My last piece of evidence is that on February 9th, Maura withdrew $280 from an ATM and purchased alcohol at a local store. She then packed her belongings, including most of her dorm room items, and drove off in her black Saturn sedan. As we know, she crashed her father's sedan and in a rural part of New Hampshire, and a local resident offered to call for help, but Maura declined. Obviously something went wrong, and by the time police arrived at the scene, she had vanished without a trace. Evidence that supports the theory that Maura chose to disappear willingly is that she had that odd pro-disappearance behavior. She was crying at work, lying to professors about where she was going and what she was doing, and then she suddenly left school, all out of nowhere. And then she crashed her father's car. Now some people may think that she was scared and was in overwhelming stress, but I believe something different. I believe that her searches for lodging in remote areas support my claim that she did intend to go somewhere else in the fleet. She also packed most of her belongings, including stuff from her dorm, and sent deceptive emails to her professors about a family death that did not occur. She had her alcohol purchases at an ATM, which go to show that she probably was intending to deceive people and think that she was under the influence, when in reality, this is a perfectly planned, elaborate escape. And then there was no footprints or signs of abduction at the scene, despite some psychics and stuff claiming that there was abduction. But when police dogs that have been shown in the video could not find her scent, it is sure to be known that there was no signs of struggle and the crash site was secure. One alternative theory that I may agree with is that Maura was abducted at the scene. The lack of footprints and evidence show that the sudden disappearance could have been an abduction, but the lack of physical evidence pointed to no foul play. However, no witnesses reported seeing a suspicious person, which leads me back to my original claim that she planned an elaborate new life and was helped by someone. Now that we've discussed about the theory of what happened to Maura Murray, and we've gone over evidence, let's talk about the timeline that led up to the events. So, I have a display put together on my phone. In February 5th, 2004, Maura breaks down crying at work. Supervisors report incidents as startling. Then, February 7th and 8th, leading up to it, she searches for lodging in Vermont and New Hampshire. In February 9th, she then emails the professor saying that she will be gone for a week due to a death in the family. On February 9th, she withdraws $280 to the ATM and makes purchases for alcohol. Then, on February 9th, later at 4 p.m., she buys alcohol and leaves campus. Later that night at 7:27, she crashes her father's car on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire, in a very remote area. Then, just less than 20 minutes later, Police arrive and Maura is gone without a trace. So that is the timeline of events, and just walking you guys through the complete timeline of what happened to Maura. In conclusion, although no theory can be completely confirmed, I'd like to go with my theory as the most concrete one, since I had multiple compelling evidence that suggests that Maura Murray deliberately planned her own escape and is now and still alive in a remote area of Canada. Her actions before the crash indicated this through her thought out plan and secrecy. And I disagree with the fact that she was just a random civilian to violence around her. Contact me at Derek Sanders Live to find out more about this case.